Welcome back. Media Independent Practitioners of Nigeria, MIPAN, has held its 2017 Patrons Day in Lagos. The annual event serves as a melting pot for media independent practitioners, their suppliers, families and friends.
MIPAN Patrons Day for 2017 begins with the seated guests, which include MIPAN officials, families with children who all anticipate an exciting time. A volleyball game gets underway, a human sack race, and the children can't get enough of the other games they get to play. As it's an obvious avenue to let their hair down, the publicity secretary of MIPAN highlights the significance of the Patrons Day.
In a situation where you have the advertising industry contributing over 120 billion to the economic growth and development, and you have the agency, the Media Independent Agency, controlling almost 80 to 85% of that budget, I think that's big enough. So that's more reason why we feel occasionally we need to celebrate and appreciate those who started this business. And it's a way of coming around to appreciate the patrons, and more importantly, to equally appreciate our clients and media owners who keep us in business.
The president of MIPAN says it's a useful way to interact.
Today is our National Day event. We call it Patrons Day. Every May 29 we'll gather for conviviality and for the socials of it. So it's our Patrons Day, and we use the opportunity to come together and to enjoy ourselves. This is where the strategy for media is done. This is where the planning is done, and then the huge deployment that comes. You know, these are the group of companies that guarantee return of investment to the clients. You know, so it's very important to the cog of wheel of our industry and then to the economy in general.
Patrons have been very.
The executive secretary of the association also comments on the contributions of the patrons to the practice.
There are people who have paid their dues in the industry, you know, in the advertising industry, and then most of them have one media independent agency or the other, and they have been very helpful in terms of helping to lead the way for professionalism and assisting to ensure that things are done in the way they should do.
Independent media practitioners have come together to celebrate life with a view to consolidate the gains they make. And this event helps in bonding of business relationships.
Welcome to Sports News. We begin with auto racing. British-born Peter Marcus has emerged winner of the inaugural amateur car racing tournament in Shagamu, Ogun State. In the auto rally, Macris clocked 6 minutes and 47 seconds to beat Adrian Egonu. Kingsley Oatse crossed the finish line in 7 minutes and 9 seconds for the third place. The Shagamu Auto Rally was held on an 800-meter track and featured different classes of vehicles. In football, Leicester City forward Riyad Mahrez has announced he wants to leave the club. The 26-year-old Algerian said he had agreed to stay for another season following a good discussion with the chairman after the Foxes won the Premier League last year. Mahrez, the PFA Player of the Year in 2016, made 48 Foxes appearances this season. He urged Gabonese Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to emerge the 2016 African Footballer of the Year. And Arsene Wenger has agreed a 2-year contract to continue as Arsenal manager. Wenger and majority shareholder Stan Kroenke held a private meeting on Monday, and the details of the Frenchman's contract were confirmed 24 hours later in a boardroom meeting. The deal, which will run until 2019, will extend his reign at the North London club to 23 years. A formal announcement is likely to follow on Wednesday. Arsenal again fails to mount a Premier League title challenge, finishing 5th, but they ended the campaign on a high by beating Chelsea to win the FA Cup for the 7th time under Wenger. And that's it on Sports News. Back to Amarachi with the rest of the news at 10.
Cyclone Mora is said to be wreaking havoc in Asia, hitting Bangladesh, where 6 people have been killed. Authorities said they were hit by falling trees in the districts of Cox's Bazar and Rangmati. Meanwhile, another resignation in the Trump cabinet is the White House Communications Director, Mike Dubke, has left, having spent only 3 months in the position. Dubke tendered his resignation on May 18th and is set to be leaving on good terms. He was hired in March to revamp the White House media strategy. White House advisor Kellyanne Conway said Dubke had agreed to stay on until Trump returned from his overseas trip on Saturday. He said reasons for his departure are very personal, and as part of the shake-up, White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer will hold his position, but with fewer media briefings. Meanwhile, the defiant North Korea leader Kim Jong-un is promising what he calls special packages following the launch of its most recent missile test. President Kim supervised the test himself on Monday, controlled by a precision guidance system. He has ordered the development of more powerful strategic weapons to defend his country against the United States. The UN is now warning the North could face further isolation as a result of its defiance. And the main news again. The Senate today passed the anti-corruption bill that will allow mutual assistance in criminal matters between Nigeria and other countries. The Senate President, Bukola Saraki, explained that the passage of the bill would bring confidence to foreign investors. Also today, pro-secessionist groups IPOB Masob tested their support base in the southeast as residents obeyed their sit-at-home order. That's it on the news at 10 tonight. Thank you for watching. I am Amarachi Uvani. Good night.